Hello, and welcome to the Fairy Coach Tarot. I am Raquel. Thank you for being here and watching my videos. Today we have a chakra reading in which we use the tarot to read each one of our seven main chakras and see what the guidance from Spirit is for each one so we have a healthy energy flow. All right, so again, it's a pick a deck or a pick a card where you pick the deck that resonates with you the most or the fairy that calls you intuitively. So let's get started. All right, so roll those shoulders back, sit in a comfortable position. I hope you are in a place where you are undisturbed at this time. And let's connect through the breath by taking a deep inhale in, holding it for a couple of seconds, and exhaling through the mouth, making that exhale longer. All right. Okay, so pick the deck or the fairy that calls you at this time. Ready? Okay, let's get started. We're going to start today with the blue fairy. And we are going to set the intention and say a prayer of protection. So we are going to tell the cards what we want. We want a message for each of our seven major chakras with love and light for our highest good. Okay. I have a feeling these two want to come out. And there we go. All right. Let's begin with our crown chakra, that it is that connection to our spirituality, right? And we get the Wheel of Fortune. So, what is the Wheel of Fortune telling us? What's the spirit of the Wheel of Fortune advising towards our spiritual life right now, right? And it says, it's all about changes, right? The turning of the wheel. And it's a major arcana card. So, what the Wheel of Fortune is saying is that there are some changes that need to be made, right? And these are changes that come from you. You are the one that's turning the wheel. And it's saying the reflection is, what changes do you think would be beneficial towards your spiritual path right now? Right? So it is about thinking about the way you are connecting to your spirituality. Or to your faith, or to your religious path, whatever that is. This card is calling for changes. So, examining if you are happy with the way things are going, or if you feel that maybe this path is not for you. So, this card is only saying there are changes that need to be made, and is asking you what are the positive changes you could make right now. Perhaps you're happy with your spiritual path, but you are not practicing enough, or you are not connecting enough. So, what are things that you feel would be beneficial for you to connect more to source and that path you've chosen spiritually? All right. So, very straightforward, and it's mostly reflection, calling for a change, positive change that needs to come from you. Now, What about our third eye chakra? That connection to our intuition, to getting messages, to sensing, right? And we have the Five of Wands. Wands is the fire element, right? And five is this number also of changes or instability, right? And what does this mean towards our intuition or that third eye chakra, right? And although the card depicts, you know, arguments and fights, this card is the message is mostly about having some peace intuitively, right? So, are you fighting with your intuition? This is one of the questions this card is posing. Are you in conflict with your intuition, or do you listen to your intuitive messages, right? So, when you get an intuitive hit, when something just doesn't feel right or feels like this is the thing that you need to do, when you get those intuitive hits, are you in conflict with that? Do you listen, or do you try to rationalize it with the mind? Do you try to use more logic or discernment instead of following that intuition, right? Because what happens is that if we stop paying attention to our intuition, if we dismiss it, right? So we practice that, and we do not feel as connected, right? We do not feel like our intuition is right. And the reason is because we are dismissing it all the time, right? So this card is asking, are you in conflict with your intuition? Are you paying attention to the signs, or are you dismissing them? And in order to strengthen your intuition, you need to pay more attention to the intuitive messages and intuitive signs you get throughout the day, right? So, this is a call for you to pay attention to those intuitive messages and not dismiss everything you're hearing or feeling or sensing at this time, right? So, not to be in conflict with your intuition. What about your throat chakra, your communication, right? Talking your truth out. And this is the Ten of Swords. And these swords is the air, right? Air element here, and 10 is the culmination. And this is a card that shows kind of being exhausted by our thoughts, right? And here, thoughts or the air element, the swords, are also linked to communication. So when we see it in the throat chakra, is saying, are you have you over explained? Are you over explaining? Are you um, going around a topic way too much? Are you trying to communicate too much with people or in situations that your message is not being heard? And it is not your fault. It is that you are trying for someone to hear you, perhaps, or over communicate or over explain something when the other person may be close to that, or maybe it's not necessary right now, right? So the main message here is over explaining yourself. And this is because it's located in the throat chakra, this card. So it is important to voice out your truth, to talk about the things that are important to you. But there is a difference and a fine line between saying what you need to say and over explaining yourself. It's an overkill, and it's for two reasons. One, because sometimes you're diluting the message, and the other thing is because your energy is you're depleting your energy, right? So this is, yes, talk and tell your truth and voice out your needs. However, do not over explain, right? Because that becomes an overkill. All right, so we have, let's move this a little bit so they fit better. All right, so we have our three top chakras here, right? Excuse me. And now let's look at that heart chakra, that it's the bridge. My apologies, I had to pause the video for a second as my throat, talking about the throat chakra, and my throat was getting a bit close off. I try to make these videos early think in the morning, and sometimes the voice doesn't cooperate. All right, let's look at the heart chakra and what the advice that comes for this chakra is the Knight of Swords and the King of Pentacles. So, when let's begin with the Knight of Swords and the guidance that it gives us towards our heart chakra is that right now there is swords is the air element, right? And the heart chakra is emotions. And the Knight of Swords is telling us that perhaps we are not communicating how we're feeling. And it's interesting because let's look at this here for a second. Here we have a card that it's about not over explaining, right? But here it is calling us to talk about our emotions, right? How we're feeling, communicate how we're feeling, right? So when we read them together it's very simple. It's stop over explaining yourself and just say how you feel, right? Very straightforward. This night is very straightforward, and just communicate how you feel without over explaining yourself. So this is how these two are linked. Now, the King of Pentacles, right, is adding to this by saying this is not a time for you to be um, what's the word, over authoritarian. That's what I was looking for. This is not to be, this King of Pentacles is a materialistic king, right? His pentacles, it's earth, he's all about making sure that the things that need to be manifested, the things that need to happen are happening. And he's authoritative. He's generous, but at the same time, he's very authoritative. So the king is saying here, this is not a time to bring these strong will or like authoritative approach, right? When it comes to telling your feelings, it's about communicating, but not being authoritative, not being pushy, right? When you communicate these feelings, this is how this card relates to this one, right? So tell how you're feeling. Anything that you feel right now, you need to bring it forth by communicating. And that can be done by saying it without over explaining yourself or by writing a letter or a text. Again, do remember not to over explain, but say how you feel. But don't be pushy. Just put how you feel out there without being pushy on what you expect from someone else. This is about your energy, right? Okay, so now let's look at that solar plexus, right? And the message here comes from the Two of Swords. Okay, one thing that I'm noticing is that we are already getting a lot of swords. Swords is an air element, and the swords started here at the throat chakra. So, what it seems like is that there are things that really communication is key for you right now. There are things that are not being said that need to be said, and then there are others that are being over explained. So, the first piece of suggestion that I would make to you is to look at your communication style at this moment, and not only take a look or reflect on what you're communicating too much, what you are over explaining, but also what feelings need to come forth or you are not talking about and that you need to express, right? And here at the solar plexus is saying, all right, so when sometimes we do not talk or we do not explain how we feel, it is because we feel that we do not know how the other person feels, or we are or we don't have all the information, or we do not know what to do, right? And the solar plexus is our creativity, our self-esteem, right? It's part, these lower chakras here are all about creativity and self-esteem and what we're bringing. And the Two of Swords is also encouraging you to talk right now, but it is saying, in order to bring things forward to your reality, in order to manifest things, it is important to express your feelings, right? But at the same time, make sure that the choices you make are made with clarity, right? So it's not about making blind choices, but using these swords, and these swords, their element is your communication and your clear thinking, to make decisions that are logic and communicate in a way that when you make a decision, when you make a choice, you communicate assertively and clearly, right? All right. So we have a lot of swords. Okay, so far. So let's see what that sacral chakra, and it comes from the chariot, all right, and the hierophant. All right. So, okay. All right, so here we change again to major arcana. And the sacral chakra and the solar plexus are very united, right? So the chariot is pretty much letting us know that movement is needed. So we need to make a step forward, right? Is a major arcana. It's going to have a big impact on us. So here, if you're not making choices, if you are not making decisions and moving forward, you are going to be blocking your energy. This is all about making decisions, talking assertively, and making decisions clear, right? And moving forward, right? And the cherry and the hierophant is just comes with a little I don't want to say warning, but a little, yes, a little saying caution here, right? It's about caution you not to be too traditional, right? Not to be too worried about what others will think or look for that external validation, right? The energy calls for you to move forward right now, right? Move forward without thinking too much about the external validation. Move forward towards the things that you want, right? Towards the things that you want to bring to life, right? With being very clear on what you want and communicating assertively. All right. And what about our root chakra? And the root chakra, beautiful card for the root chakra, the world, right? And what is the world letting us know towards the root chakra? That it is that security we have, right? Or the security that what makes us feel secure in the world. And the world card is telling us that right now, closing some chapters in our life, right? And not in a way of releasing something bad, but closing some chapters, some things, some lessons that we've learned, some things that have gone well for us. It is time to stop looking back and remember that life is lived moving forward to the future. So, to really close some chapters from the past and stop living in the past, remembering that it is all about moving forward. All right, let's put all this together, right? Because these chakra readings are kind of long. So let's put it together. For our spirituality, right now, it is about making positive changes, changes that come from us, and reflecting what are the changes that we should be making, right? To have a deeper connection, right? But it seems like this is saying right now, it seems it's good energy, just make positive changes towards connecting spiritually. Now, our third eye chakra here, our intuition. Are we in conflict with our intuition? We need to pay more attention to those intuitive messages we get. And for our throat chakra is all about stop over explaining. However, we need to talk more about how we feel. That needs to come forward, saying how we feel without over explaining ourselves, and making sure that we are not too authoritative, too expecting certain things from outside. We communicate our feelings. This is for our own benefit. And our solar plexus and our sacral chakra are telling us it is time to make decisions, right? And not to move, to make sure we put movement, we put action, we move forth, right? And make decisions that come from clarity and talking assertively. So, making decisions using our communication right now for what it seems, but making sure we take action and we are not too preoccupied by what others think or will say. We need to do things for us right now. And our root chakra is saying also we need to close some chapters, some things from the past, and start focusing on the present towards the future of where we're going. All right, I hope you liked your chakra reading this week. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and reach out for more information on a private session with me. Okay, let's look at the yellow fairy right now. For those of you who picked that one. Okay. Let's bring the yellow fairy. Okay, let's begin with the yellow fairy. Let's set that intention, loosen the cards, and tell them what we want at this time. So, we are looking for messages for our 7 main chakras, guidance moving forward in love and light for our greatest good. Okay, let's begin with the crown chakra. Okay, 2 messages. All right. Oh, and 3 here. Very talkative cards. That bridge. All right. So we have a lot of cards out. Let's begin with our crown chakra. All right, and the message begins with the Page of Wands and the Knight of Swords. So let's begin with the Page of Wands. So the Page of Wands is just letting us know that for our spiritual path and our connection right now, there are ways in which our spirituality and how we connect can grow, right? And this is once it's the fire element, and it's saying that we need to be more intentional with our practice, right? So perhaps we are not trying to grow spiritually. Perhaps we are doing the same things we've always done. We're not trying to learn more about spiritual path. We are not making that many efforts to connect with a source. And this is saying, hey, there is more that can be done. You need to be more intentional and grow spiritually at this time. And the Knight of Swords is saying it's it is more about growing intentional than not talking so much about your spiritual path, right? So it's not so much about telling everybody about your faith or your spirituality. It is more about you growing in your spiritual path, whatever it is that you have chosen. It is an inner job that the cards are telling you right now. So, not so much about the knight is kind of warning, okay, do not be so outward or like bringing a message to others. It's more about you growing spiritually right now and being intentional with it, right? And let's see these, the cards that we got for our third eye, right? Let's put them in order. And we have the Ace of Cups, materialism. So Major Arcana 15, that would be Devil. And here we have all right, so the Two of Wands. Okay. So let's begin for our third eye chakra. So, our third eye chakra is saying, okay, this is cups, this is emotions. So, there are intuitive messages right now that are coming forth, right? And the way this is happening is that it is you are getting this intuitive message that are very emotional. So it's asking you to look at your emotions right now and say, through your emotional self is how you're getting these intuitive messages that are also going to be bringing you a lot of good things, a lot of joy, right? So the card is an invitation for you to look at your emotions right now and how you respond emotionally to things, because these are messages and you are getting them in a very emotional way. So makes you happy, makes you sad, makes you angry. Look at those emotions. This is how you are getting your intuitive messages right now. All right. And Major Arcana 15th here that says materialism. But this Major Arcana is just giving you the little warning of, hey, do not be so attached to outcomes, right? So your intuition is about getting these messages that connecting with this can help you grow spiritually, can make your soul evolve, but it's not about the outcome. So do not attach to the outcome, right? Instead, right? Instead, right now, it is about using your intuition to make the right choices for your life. Not about the outcome, but using these intuitive hits to make the right choices for you. Okay. And what about our throat chakra? And we have the Chariot. Very straightforward message. We need to be talking and voicing out the things that are important to us. It's very important that we speak up. Speak up and say what we need to say, and that will help us move forward. But just speak up, straightforward. This is about speaking up and not silencing or stopping yourself. And what about our heart chakra? The message comes from the Nine of Pentacles and the Fool. So, what is the guidance here? So, the Nine of Pentacles for our heart chakra is a great card because it is saying, things seem to be going well around your energy in the heart chakra. And it is about enjoying the things that you love, enjoying the things that are material, that are in your life, like things that expressing little gratitudes. Like, for example, we have anyone that is able to take a hot shower, that has hot water, is privileged. There are many places in the world where that's not an option. So being grateful for every little thing, having a home, having a safe space, having a car, or like, so this is saying all the material things that you have, be grateful for them, because we take them for granted when a lot of people do not, and that's a privilege, right? So being grateful for all the material aspects in your life. And this and the Fool is saying it's not about going out and getting more material things, right? It's just about being grateful for what you already have. That does not mean that we're so grateful for the material things we have that we become extra materialistic and we go out looking for more. No, it's about focusing on just the gratitude for the material things you have. All right. And what is the solar plexus energy, and what the spirit of that 10 of wands, right? And what is this card telling us to our solar plexus, right? And it is saying, okay, even if you have put a lot of effort in things that you're creating in your life, whatever that is, it's work, relationship, whatever it is that you've been putting a lot of effort and intention towards, know that it's not in vain. So if you feel depleted, if you feel tired, if you feel like, goodness, I keep doing, or giving my best to something and it's not happening, yes, it is. So do not think that the efforts you made towards something are in vain. This card is telling you nothing you've done is in vain. All right. What about the sacral chakra? That, as I say, is very united to that one. And again, more ones. And we get the 9. How interesting, because we do have ones here. These two chakras that are already very united. And it is just confirming what this card has said. Even if you feel exhausted about something, feeling like about to throw in the towel, saying, hey, I put so much effort to this, towards this. It could be a work, it could be a project that you're bringing to life, or it could be even a relationship, but you've put so much effort and you don't think that you're seeing the fruits. This card is reminding you your efforts are not in vain. And this other card is saying, keep going. It's just that do not ever think your efforts are in vain and throw in the towel. This is just a reminder to keep going. At a 9 and a 10, so it's like success and culmination. You're almost there. What about our root chakra? And our root chakra, another 10. And this time is the 10 of cups, right? This loving energy. And for our root chakra, the advice that it is our security and how secure we feel in the world is saying right now it is about, very similar to this, is about enjoying the things that bring love and happiness to you. So how to do this, or to be more specific. So anytime you feel that sense of love, of contentment, right? Not an exhilaration of excitement, but just content and love. Know that, bask on that feeling. And again, it is a card of gratitude. If this was a gratitude for our things that are material things that we have in our life. All right, quick recap. For the ones that picked the yellow fairy. So there are ways that we can grow spiritually. We need to be more intentional with our spirituality, not so much talking about it to others, but just being intentional about growing in our spiritual path. Now, towards that third eye and our intuition is letting us know that we are getting intuitive hits with our emotions, how we feel about things. Right now, it's not about being attached to an outcome, it's about making decisions that are good for your life based on those intuitive hits that you get. Emotions, how you feel about something is letting you know a lot. And then our throat chakra is that we need to speak up more about the things that are important for us. Our heart chakra is saying be more grateful about material things that you have in your life. It's not about looking for other material things and just becoming materialistic. It's about being grateful for what you already have. And the solar plexus and the sacral chakra are letting you know that your efforts have not been in vain towards the things that you want to keep going at this time. And that root chakra is telling you be also grateful for the things that you have that are non-material at this time. This is what's giving you security, relationships with loved ones, and important things in this world that are non-material. All right, I hope you enjoyed your chakra reading. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and remember, this is a collective reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest, and reach out for more if you would like us to look at your specific situation. I offer one-on-one readings that can be done over the phone or video call, and there are different amounts of time, so 30 minutes, an hour, 15 minutes for a quick question, or you can get a pre-recorded reading sent directly to your inbox. All right, let's look now at the last deck, the last fairy, for those of you who picked the purple fairy. And here we have the purple fairy. Okay, for those of you who have picked the purple fairy. Oops, let's get all these cards. Let's loosen them up and set the intention of what we want. All right. We would like a message and guidance for our 7 main chakras, right? In love and light for our highest good. Okay. Oh, they are jumpy. They are jumpy. Two. Okay. So let's begin with our crown chakra for those of you who've picked on this deck. And we have the 4 of Cups. All right. So what is this 4 of Cups telling us? That we need to be more interested in our spirituality. We are not paying too much attention to it. Maybe there is some form of disconnect, and it's saying right now, pay more attention to your spiritual life. The spiritual path, your faith, religion, whatever it is, but do not forget that your spiritual health is as important as your physical, and your mental is part of who we are. And our faith or spirituality sustains us when things are hard. So this is saying make sure you're paying more attention to it, right? If you have been feeling a disconnect, or even if you are a very spiritual person, this card could also be telling you maybe you're very spiritual, but are you connecting or paying attention the way you need to be paying attention, instead of just wearing a badge of spirituality? All right. And what is the message towards our third eye chakra? And it comes from the Devil, Major Arcana 15, and the Nine of Wands. And what is the Devil telling us? The Devil is seen usually as a very negative card, but in tarot, I always say there is no bad cards or good cards. So they come with messages, and there is sometimes a positive message about the devil here, or the Major Arcana 15. And when it comes to our intuition, that third eye chakra is saying, right now, it is not only about paying more attention to your spirituality, but paying also more attention to your third eye chakra, right? To your intuition, right? Be more selfish with towards your growing your intuition, to those intuitive messages, right? Do not dismiss them. Do not try to rationalize them, or also ignore them. So a little bit like the reading we did before. But in this card is saying, you know what? Being selfish, being attached to your intuition right now, it's what's needed, right? So it's not about being detached, or trying to also be practical or logic. Is about actually relying on your intuition, right? And the Nine of Wands is saying your intuition is not about working too hard for it, right? So don't see growing your intuition as if it was work, right? It is about a relationship that you nurture with the divine. The more you strengthen and pay attention to your spirituality, whatever that is, the more also you get intuitive hits. It's not about work, it's a relationship that you have with the spirit, and getting those messages that right now it's okay to care for yourself, to care, to grow your intuition, to do things spiritually. It's okay to be selfish about that, and putting yourself first, spiritually talking. All right, and what about our throat chakra? And we have the Six of Cups, right? And this is saying there are some things that have happened in the past. That in the past could be yesterday, could be a month ago, could be a year ago, or years ago. But there are some emotional things that happened in the past that have not been addressed, that have not been processed or talked about. And this is saying you would benefit from talking about things from the past, either things that happened that were not good, but it sounds like, or it looks like, there are things that were good. There are some good memories in the past, or things that need to be just talked about. And it has a power when we talk. Our words bring power. So talking more about things from the past, it's what would be beneficial. Now, our heart chakra, and here we have the Five of Pentacles. All right, and the Five of Pentacles comes with a very clear message. Do not be stingy with your love and your affection. All right, it is about remembering that saying how you feel or acting like it, but do not be stingy with your love and affection. Be generous with the way you love. because that's the generosity is whatever you put out will come back to you. So remember to be generous with your love and affection. Do not be stingy with words of love, of appreciation, with showing affection to somebody. And what do we have towards the solar plexus? And the solar plexus, we have pentacles again. All right, but here it's the Ace of Pentacles, right? And this is a new opportunity. So, new opportunities are coming forth for you. Things that is something that you're trying to bring to life, that you're trying to create, that has a big potential for growth. So, just for you to know, think about, reflect on what is it something that you want right now, and look for an opportunity that will be presented that will have the potential for growth, that will be something, because it's pentacles, that will be something sustainable in your life, that manifests clearly. So could be either opportunity for a promotion, for a project that does very well, or even for a relationship to materialize. So if you are interested in somebody, the opportunity for that to materialize could be there. And also is telling us, that whatever it is going to affect in a positive way. And the sacral chakra, right, that goes very close, tightly together with the solar plexus, is it's a card of adventure, of impulsivity, right? And it's saying, okay, if you see an opportunity showing up, if there is an opportunity for something, don't think twice, act on it, be impulsive, be loving, be adventurous towards this. It could be something that changes or that brings something forth in your life that is much needed at this time. And we have another more pentacles. So the lower chakras are all about pentacles. Pentacles is the earth element, are things that manifest in our life, that are more about the physical world, right? And the Page of Pentacles, right, for our root chakra, that it is that safety, right? What is the page letting us know? Okay, the page is all about growth, right? And it is saying, okay, right now, put more effort into either the opportunity for something to materialize or for the things in your physical life. It is about growing them. Whatever it is that it's not emotions or ideas, it is something physical that you can grow. So it could be that could bring more security to you. It could be your finances, it could be a stable housing, it could be a job that is pretty stable, that you are full-time in it. Whatever it is about growing that security in the physical world right now. Okay, so let's take a quick recap at your chakra reading. All right, so need to pay more attention to your spirituality right now. It is about not thinking about your spiritual aspect or well being as a second thought. Need to pay more attention by growing your spirituality, and even being selfish if you need to be, to connect spiritually, to connect intuitively. It's about putting yourself first when it comes to that. And it's not about doing work or outer good deeds. Is about a personal relationship with the divine for you right now, and that's how your intuition is going to be more marked. And those are it's paying attention to your spiritual life mostly. And our throat chakra, there are things about the past that should be expressed and talked about, right? So do not silence the past at this time. Is about talking about something, reflect on something about the past that has not been said that needs to be expressed, and something that meant a lot emotionally. And not to be stingy with our love, but be affectionate, words of encouragement, of love, tell somebody how we feel. Do not be stingy with love. Now, solar and sacral chakras are new opportunities may come in the air for something that needs to materialize, right? So there is a big potential there, but you can, it's not about you overthinking it or being very plan wise. It's about going on this adventure, being impulsive. If you see an opportunity, just say yes, go for it, right? But for our root chakra is about growing security in the financial world. I'm sorry, the physical world. And that could be finances, could be work. So things that are very tangible. It says there is more growth that needs to be set, perhaps linked to this opportunity, but that will create that safety that you need right now. All right, I hope you liked your reading. Give a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. That helps me grow, that helps me put more videos out there for you. And also know that I have services where I offer online private readings. So we have that they can be done by phone or video call, and we have either 15 minutes for a quick clarity call that I would say. We have 30 minutes or even an hour session, right? Where that time, is your sacred space of time for us to look into your personal situation. Or you can also get a pre recorded reading from me that can be sent directly to your mailbox, and that would be either a video like these videos that we do that get sent to you, or audio if that's what you prefer. So reach out if you want more information, or go to my website or my storefront to purchase your session or your reading. And again, subscribe to the channel and share this video with anybody that you think would benefit from it. Again, thank you, thank you, thank you for being here, and have a blessed week. Bye bye.